Okay, so
Hey,
so hi there. So we are live. Don't worry, I'll cut this out.
perfect, absolutely perfect.
So today, welcome to our Fast Freedom Formula Live show today. Today we're going to be talking about Awaken, the Sleeper Within. I'm Michael Harris, and I have my friend
Oh,
Tony. We're just gonna roll with it today. We're just like, all right. I wanted to start out by talking about, there is a line in a great fictional novel, so movie called Dune by Frank Herbert. And it is absolutely one of my favorite trashy, rainy day movies to watch. I've seen it like 900 times. Okay. And in it, the line is, a person needs new experiences. It jars something deep inside, allowing him or her to grow. Without change, something sleeps inside of us and seldom awakens. The sleeper must awaken. So that is going to be the topic today, is what are you doing? What are you doing to stay out of your everyday coma, where you get up and you go to work and you come home and you veg out on the couch, or whatever it is you do until bed, and then wash, rinse, and repeat. Okay. So I'll ask that again. How do you keep yourself from going to sleep? And then there's that other question, Tony, do you even want to stay awake?
yeah,
There was a training. I didn't attend the training, but I have the audio of it from one of my mentors, Stephen Gilligan, and they were doing an exercise in poetry as a method of trance induction. And this one lady wrote this awesome line, which was, I turned my face away for a moment and 10 years went by.
yeah.
And that's just,
That's powerful. That is powerful, isn't it?
and you were talking earlier about, everyday trance. So, because they weren't with us, why don't you tell us what you're saying?
Everyday trance. Yeah, I think we fall into a pattern of expectation of our reality. I'm Tony Vose, by the way. Let's put it out there. And before I say anything else, I'd just like to reach out to the people in Texas because of obviously the incident of the last few hours in the school. So yeah, all our hearts from the UK over to you over there. So anyway, yeah, well, I think what we tend to do is we live on algorithms and patterns of probability, and we're not directly experiencing the reality in front of us and waking up to possibilities and potential. So yeah, we all do this. I mean, it's a funny thing when you look at how the mind structures with patterns and pre-programs. If with our vision, 80% of it is a construct of the mind. Only 20% is science. And I'm just going to relay a little story. I did a meditation a little while ago now, Michael, probably about 3 or 4 years ago. And this to give some insight into what we do with our reality and our senses and our perceptual filters. But this meditation, you hold a raisin in your hands. I don't know if you've heard about it, but you literally look at the raisin, you notice everything you can about that raisin. Then you smell the raisin, use your senses, then you put it in your mouth. You don't chew it, you roll it round, you get all the texture, you do everything you can. Then gradually, very, very gradually, you start chewing that and taking every bit of flavor. Now, the funny thing is I did this meditation, fell asleep. When I woke up, I had a sensory overload. My sense of smell and taste was off the scale. So what is going on there where we're blocking out the realities of our life? We're just dulling down our existence and not really becoming aware. So this is what me and Michael do. We try and awaken those senses and potentialize ourselves. Cool. So yeah.
This is just an aside. Both you and I do hypnosis, and And one of the things that I do with people who come to me for weight loss hypnosis is the very first thing I do is I get them to agree that they will eat blindfolded.
Really, I like
Yes.
that.
So,
Yeah,
they have to,
excellent.
they have to get their plate, orient their food and stuff, put on a blindfold. They have to take a bite of food, put their fork down, chew that bite before
Yeah,
they take the next one. And
yeah.
if you know somebody
When,
who is addicted to fast food, the fastest way to get people off of fast food forever is blindfold them and have them take a bite. It tastes bad, and it tastes like it's like cardboard
really.
with, yeah, it's amazing.
So that's an interesting thing you're doing there, because you do what I do, because in a way, but I do it a different way. So I get people to write down what they're going to eat before they eat it, and then look at it to make sure that they want it. And then also, I think it brings conscious awareness to the fact, because so many people are running these programs, and I said we're all on a spectrum, but you don't want to be over here. If we can bring this down here somewhere, and bring conscious awareness to what we're doing.
Absolutely. As usual, we're off topic. Okay.
Here we are.
So I'm just going to ask a question, Tony, and then I'm going to tell another story. What do you do? What do you personally, Tony, do to stay out of coma land?
Right. Okay. Well, I think I said earlier, Michael, I went fishing today, and I do like fishing. Though I haven't done so much. And these days, when I fish, it's much more about being at one with nature. And when you're in that environment, I don't know if everyone who's listening now or going to listen in the future has probably had that sort of sense when you walk into a woods, you're staring at the sea, where you're tuning and resonating with nature, and you're dropping into a synchronized alpha state, which calms the whole system down. But when you're fishing, you have to focus as well. So you're getting the best of both. So I really like that. And I find at that point, I sometimes do my best thinking. And I'm out of the box of that normal beta state thinking, that normal everyday ruminating that we do. So yeah, I find that good. Cold showers.
I'm out. I am out on cold showers. But how about that? Go ahead.
No Wim Hof for you, though. And the other thing, because of the work we do, Michael, is reading, because that sometimes wakes me up. You see a bit of content, and all of a sudden that really sort of resonates and pulls you out of, makes you think, pulls you out of the trances that we live in.
Excellent. I'm going to take this opportunity. Speaking of reading, are you familiar with the short story Rip Van Winkle? Because several, we're old, okay, but not all of the people who are maybe watching this have heard of Rip Van Winkle. It was written by a fellow by the name of Washington Irving, and it is a story about the Dutch American settlers in the Catskill Mountains in New York, way back when. And this story is about a guy who, it's a guy, he's married, and he's kind of lazy, and his wife freaking hates that. She nags at him constantly about, get a job, do something with your life. And one day he's just had enough, and he goes for a walk in the woods. He takes his dog with him. And while he's walking along, he hears somebody call his name. And he's like, who is that? And he sees this guy dressed in ancient Dutch clothing, and he's carrying this cask of I don't know if it's beer or ale or whatever it is, but Rip Van Winkle decides to help him, and they walk into wherever it is that they stay, and there's a bunch of other people dressed like this guy, and without even knowing who they are, how they know his name or whatever, this guy starts drinking and playing ninepins with him until he gets sleepy. And he lays down and he goes to sleep. And when he wakes up, you know, this guy's covered with leaves. Everybody is gone. His dog is nowhere to be found. And he's got a beard about a foot long. And he's just like, what happened? And so he wanders back into his old town, only his old town is completely changed. Nobody there remembers who he is. Nobody, everyone is gone. And he discovers that he has been asleep for 20 years. And, you know, ultimately, you know, he goes, his daughter and his son are there. And, you know, the story ends well because, you know, we Americans love a good, you know, happy ending. Okay. But think about this in terms of who you are. Okay. I've had the experience, you know, I have 4 kids. Okay. And when they grew up, I had an identity crisis. It's like, what do I do now? Okay. Or if you've been married and you got divorced, or your partner died, or whatever, we have these identity things that we move into these trances, or we move into these mindsets, and we get through this program where you literally can spend your entire life and, you know, poof, you're done. When I was a kid, I always used to hear my parents say, when we retire. Okay, well, my dad died before my mother retired. So all of those things that they planned on doing never happened.
Yeah. I mean, this, you know, I was going to reference the film Click by Adam Sandler for this sort of thing, where we're literally pressing that button, fast forwarding through life constantly. But at the same point, often we're playing a video of the past, wanting to undo past events and holding that sort of ego state, you know, different things that have affected our persona and our timeline. But yeah, and we're not present in the moment or thinking about the bigger objective. So yeah, I'm in a complete accord with you, Michael.
So we don't just talk about the problem and not give you guys a possible solution. I'm going to show you a possible solution. That's one of the things that I use with my clients. And interestingly enough, when I have a new client and I'm showing them this, or I'm reviewing this with a client, because, you know, they're supposed to be doing this monthly, I go, oh, perhaps I too should be looking at this. What I'm going to show you is a life wheel. And the life wheel is pretty simple. You know, it's got 8 areas of your life, and they are your physical environment, which is, you know, your house, your boat, your car, your airplane, or whatever, you know, and you also think about your workspace. Now, a lot of us work from home, but I have my office. It's a bedroom, but I have my office. Then the next thing in this thing is your career, your money or finances, your significant other or your romance, friends and family. And some people separate those two. So for some people, you know, these are my friends and these are my family, they don't cross over, and that's cool. And then there's your health. Okay, also a large category, which is mental, physical, emotional, and for some people, spiritual health. And then there's personal growth, which could be a lot of people also consider personal growth as in spiritual growth, and none of this is wrong. Okay, and then the last one, which is the one I like to neglect the most, which is fun and recreation. Sorry about that. There's nothing I can do about that.
It's a nice tune anyway, Michael.
Nice
we can edit it out, I'm sure.
It's a business call coming in on my business line. But what I want you to listen closely, and you'll hear like the sound of a cash register. Oh, it's gone. Okay. All right. So this life wheel is a really nice reminder that there are more things to do than work and eat and go to bed and rinse and wash and repeat. Okay. And now one of my favorite things to neglect is I'm very much American. Okay. We are the most underslept, unvacation bunch of people in the whole world. I was telling Tony, hey, my wife and I, we went on vacation. We were gone from the house for a whole day and a half. It was awesome. And
Yeah, that sounds wonderful, Michael. That escape.
yeah.
That
And
escape.
the other thing that I like to neglect a lot is individual quiet time alone.
Yeah.
Okay. You know, you're talking about your fishing. Okay.
Mm.
For me, when you were talking about fishing where you like zone out and you're still focused at the same time, to me, that is the exact definition of how to play golf. Golf is the most unconscious, conscious integration out there.
Absolutely. It's the two, isn't it? Yeah. That open focused mind where you rather than just being tight in the moment. Yeah.
You know, so some people, they neglect their bride, or they neglect their husband, or they don't pay attention to their career because they're too busy raising kids, or they don't pay attention to, you know, blah blah blah. And Dallas, Texas, well, I live in Fort Worth, but the Texas is like ranked like 40th out of 50 states as far as fit places to live. There are more over the average population in Texas, the obesity rates are like 39%. I mean, they're enormous.
Well, I know we was talking just now about consumerism and the cycle of rewards that most of us play into, unfortunately, within our society, which keeps us in the game as a functioning unit. But are we really achieving and doing what we want? You know, we're just being a participant or sort of automata, robotic version of who we could really be. And it is interesting. I mean, you know, Nietzsche said God is dead and we've killed him. And we seem to have, unfortunately, replaced, no, you know, I'm not getting into religion, but replaced God with consumerism. Nothing wrong with things per se. We all want things, something. But it's when you're doing in that shallow pool, repetitive nature of just buying and consuming either food, goods, whatever, just keeping in that cycle, playing along without actually being consciously aware of what you're doing and where you're going. I think that's a problem.
I agree. I don't know if you know this, but I don't watch the news, like period, ever.
Right.
I almost never have the TV on. I'm too busy. I'm busy living my life and having
really
fun.
Good.
But part of like the overall plan is to keep people glued to the TV.
Yep.
And, you know, and show you commercials so they can sell you their stuff and all that other stuff. And particularly the news, they learned a long time ago, fear sells.
Oh, you know? Absolutely. Well, it keeps us compliant, doesn't it? It gives you an enemy.
Yes. And you know, this is going to be like something like one of the things that I'm going to recommend, you know, although we're doing a weekly show, okay, we're recording this. So if you take me up on my offer, you won't miss anything. What would happen if you took a 6-week break from television, or a 6-week break from social media? I did this 2 years ago. I shut off the TV. I shut off all, you know, I love music, but I turned off all music. And I just experienced quiet. And I had you still got to work, so I saw clients, and I would check my email once a day and all that other stuff. But for the most part, I was in silence. And it is a very you'll come to the party really, really quickly when you find out how distracted we actually are.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, my lovely bride and I are actually going on a 3-day trip this weekend.
Brilliant.
There's no phone service. It's out in the sticks. There's no phone service.
Yeah, well, that sounds interesting. Don't break anything.
Yeah, no, there's no phone service. Last time we were out there, they're like, oh yeah, we have Wi-Fi, but it's not working. We called the repairman, but he never showed up. Yeah, that kind of thing. So
He's out in the sticks.
So we might spend 3 days in silence.
Yeah.
Which would be awesome. So if I come back and I'm glowing, you'll know that that happened.
I wouldn't be able to tell the difference, Michael, being honest. You're normally glowing.
Yeah, that's it. Okay, so in your life wheel, I'll pull that thing back up here for a second.
Yep.
Okay. When you look at this here, Tony, what's your favorite area to neglect?
That's an interesting one, isn't it? Let's have a little look. Yeah. I would say it's between probably the two things that a lot of us are pretty poor at, but probably money and health, I would have thought.
Money and health?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not too bad on either of them, but yeah.
Well, you know, for some people in the States, I know you're in the UK, in the States, 94% of all major purchases are made by the female component of the relationship. Yeah. Yeah. You've heard the term happy life, happy wife?
Yep.
Or happy wife, happy life. Yeah. You know,
Yep.
there is some credence to that. And, you know, if she wants this washing machine or that washing machine, buy it. Just buy it.
As long as you've got the money.
Yeah. So yeah, I know I pick on Americans and stuff like that, but they are our civilization over here are seriously under exercised. They talk about exercise, or they talk about dieting, and then the weekend comes.
Yeah,
So
well, we're the same over here.
Yeah.
Again, we playing into this pattern of rewards for drink, foods, or we binge watch like Netflix, and it becomes the accepted normal zeitgeist of society. You know, that prevailing.
I have an interesting challenge for you.
Go on then.
The next time that you invite friends over, okay, invite your friends over and don't fix any food, and don't prepare any food, don't have like the bar stocked or whatever. Just have them come over and just say, yeah, I just thought we'd sit around and have a nice conversation and watch. That they will just go. Because,
Yeah, I think you know my friends. Yeah.
But I don't
probably do a bit more than that.
I have done that. Like I did warn them. I did warn them that this was a non, you know, and I said, hey, I want you guys to come over to the house. Great. What do you want me to bring? Nothing. We're just going to hang out. And they're like, did you say just hang out? Because we've forgotten how to be. You know, just be without something in your hand, something in your mouth.
This is it. We need that constant stimulus and that reward pattern that isn't rewarding us at all. We're not being with our thoughts. We're not being conscious. You know, and this is a real common problem now, isn't it? Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
And I was gonna quote an Inception. Inception's all about dreams, isn't it? You know, lucid dreaming is very interesting if anyone's done that. But the film Inception, dreams feel real when we are in them. It is only when we wake when we wake up, that we realise that something was actually quite strange.
Absolutely.
And this is,
I'm gonna offer something to the people that are watching, if they're interested. What did I do with it? Well, hello. I hope I didn't close. I did. I closed it. Hold on. Remember, it's our video. We can do whatever we want.
we can do what we want.
Exactly. Where are you? Documents? There. Ha! Don't worry, I'll cut the you know me, I will edit the video.
Yeah.
All right there. Okay, so back to our handy dandy life wheel. If you would like one of these, okay, just PM us in the comments, or I'm pretty easy to find on social media. Yeah, just send me a message, and we'll send you a PDF of this life wheel, and the instructions for doing this are really simple. It's like you look at these different areas of your life: your physical environment, career, money, significant other, friends, family, health, growth, and on a scale of 1 to 10, there are no negative numbers. There, you can't have a 28. It's 1 through 10. Rate your level of satisfaction in each one of these different things. And what you're going to come up with is you're going to come up with this scale of different numbers. And this is just an example. And somebody over here had done, that their careers at a 4, their money's at a 3, their friends and family are a 10. So you can tell just by looking, that friends and family are important. So is their health. Okay, so maybe they're not paying as close attention to their career, or saving money, or doing as they could. So when you fill this thing out, and what it asks you to do is fill it out once a week for a month. So one time a week, fill this thing out. And what's going to happen the first time that you fill it out is you're going to see you have a flat tire somewhere. Okay, the question is do you want it to stay flat? Okay, so if you decide that you're going to put more energy into that area of your life, something interesting is going to happen. All of the other areas of your life for a short period of time are going to compress. So your numbers will go. So in this one section, it will go up, but the other numbers will come down. They'll balance out, but the whole process takes about 30 days. In order to do that. And I said that my wife and I, we don't watch a whole lot of TV, because we are constantly monitoring this life wheel and putting energy into the areas of our life to keep things balanced. Oh, and just FYI, I haven't told you yet, but we're going to go to Jamaica.
Really? Where, 3 days again, Michael? Is it 1 day?
No, it's going to be 5 whole days.
Whoa! Real escape. Oh, so you've literally put energy into that area, haven't you?
Yeah, and yeah. I put energy.
You saw that was a bit depleted.
I got an email. Yeah, I've been putting energy into this. I got an email today. When Lily and I first got together, we were going to go to Jamaica. So we paid all this money to go to Jamaica. Okay. Then boom, the plague hit. Okay. Well, we still have a credit with the resort. Brilliant. So all we got to do is hop on an airplane and everything's paid for.
Ah, lovely.
Oh yeah.
Lovely. Yeah, we'll enjoy that. When are you going?
And I brown up well. We'll probably go the week after Thanksgiving, either that week.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And my birthday is the following week.
Right.
So there's plenty of shopping days left over for. But anyway, yeah.
You've got to get that beach body, haven't you, yet?
Yeah, when you start putting energy into different things, in my opinion, the universe will conspire to help you. So that's all I got for today. How about you? You have something that you want to add?
Not really. I think we've done most of it. You know, that we're talking about waking up,
Mhm.
aren't we? That is it, waking up and knowing that we're not what we think we are at any given time. There's much more underneath.
Mhm.
We just live in trance identities and playing out patterns. And most of our thoughts, I think is well known, most of our thoughts and ruminations are the same thoughts and ruminations of yesterday and the day before and therefore. And it's breaking out of that and seeing the bigger picture.
Yeah, I think one of the best questions I've ever learned to ask people is, how familiar are these thoughts that you're having? You know, and if they seem really, really familiar, perhaps you need to create some new thoughts.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thanks everybody for watching, and
Thank you.
we'll talk to you later.